Praise the Lord, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha, the preacher. Okay. Oh, boy. Life is so good. So good. So good. Life is so good. Mm. Most High is everything to me. Everything. Because everything in my life is because of Him. Everything in my life is because of Him. Because He leads and guides me. As crazy as I look, act, and sound, Most High leads and guides me, navigates me through this life. That is the only way that I could be speaking to you today. The only way. And I believe it's the only way that you are able to listen to me today is because He is everything to you too. That is the only way that you and I are connected today. It's because Most High is in the midst of it. I believe that. So, the topic of today, and I have the comments open for a little bit. On your way in, if you could click like, that would be greatly appreciated. And how are you all doing? How are you feeling? How are you guys coping out here in this world? It's brutal. It's brutal out here. Whew. Mm. But the pros and cons of being equally yoked. And one may say, well, there's nothing wrong with being equally yoked. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, the Bible says to do it and it must be good. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are definitely good things about being equally yoked to others, but there are also some bad things about it. Any and everything has something good and bad about it. No matter how good something sounds, looks, appears to be, trust and believe it has something equally bad about it. And likewise, no matter how horrible, bad, evil a person sound, look, act, and whatnot, trust and believe equally there is something good about that person. Sometimes our good side of life overshadows our bad side of life. And people just look at us as good people. And every time we do any little thing bad, it come off as, oh my God, they're deceptive. Oh my God, they this. Oh my God, they that. But the same thing can happen for bad people. The bad side of them overshadows their good to the point where they're just labeled bad people. And every time we do something good, it's just really not a big deal. It's discounted as though it has no value because the bad side overshadows the good. And you're labeled a bad person no matter what good you do. So when people are, let's say, legally married, because in most people's minds, legal marriage is the only way to be married. I disagree with that, although I did serve 32 legal years myself. Because I spent 32 years legally married to people, I can explain why I think there are levels to marriage and different options concerning marriage, and legal is just one of them. For example, real quick, I'll just throw this in here and then I'll continue the pros and cons of being equally yoked. Please click like on the way in. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. And the comments are open for a little bit. um, the pros and cons of being equally yoked. I'll just go right into it. Being equally yoked, to me, there is a spiritual component to it, and then there's a natural component to it. So let's just say the spiritual side of your relationship are the things that people can't just see with their natural eye. And then, of course, the natural part of your relationship is in the physical realm. People can see y'all, they can smell y'all, they can touch you. You know what I'm saying? So, in the natural realm, it's easier to see when people are equally yoked. It's easier to see it. You know, maybe they grew up together, graduated from the same high school, both went to college, both have jobs. Then they decide to get married, and then they decide to have children. You know, that seems like a pretty good equal yoking on the natural realm. And then if they go to church together too, on top of that, then you assume, okay, they go to church together, they're connected spiritually. They're connected spiritually. And then in the natural realm, I mean, like, two people could not be, more balanced and have more in common than two people in that type of situation. However, as equally yoked as all that sounds, there are other factors that create division. We live in a world where, even though in the United States it is legal for two men to marry, it's legal, yet, for the most part, we still live in a male female gender based society. Even though the law allows two men to marry, and it's been that way for a very long time, the overall feel here is still the male female combination. So, off the rip, there is a gender difference. No matter how equally yoked you are, off the rip, you're experiencing a gender difference by default. No one's fault, but it's just by default because previous laws conditioned us that that was the only way, despite the fact that there's a difference. gender wise, as far as being equally yoked. So, when being equally yoked, when you at the gender stage right there, just how equal can you be? When I look at a man, a full grown man, and when I look at a full grown woman, just typically, the typical, there are always beautiful, wonderful exceptions. But the typical man, typical woman, just how equally yoked can they be? Just off the rip. I mean, like, you can only be so equally yoked. Now, let's go to the next level when it comes to equal yoking for male and female in traditional America. So, once you leave gender, then you look at race here in America. Are you dealing with a black male or a white male? Are you dealing with a black female or a white female? Now, of course, in America, there are many, many, many other races here other than just black and white. But here in America, traditionally, black and white is the foundation. Regardless to the reputation, regardless to ranking, at the end of any day or night, it's about black and white here in America. And that narrative is being pushed all over the world. So now, again, this is about equal yoking. And I'm just questioning just how equal can any traditional male and female couple be when off the rip, gender is a difference? When off the rip, race is a difference. And off the rip, wealth could be a difference. Male female relationships, the traditional way, while expecting equal yoking. Now we're looking at wealth. The wealth of a woman compared to the wealth of a man. It's a mockery today. Men laugh at women for being poor. Women laugh at men for being quote unquote poor. Again, there are always exceptions to the rule. All women are not poor, but most women are compared to their counterpart, the male. But we live in a world where everything has, not everything, not everything, but a lot of things have flipped. Well, now we're at the point where more women are paying child support, more women are paying alimony. That's not my experience, okay? But I do recognize that that is a thing. The world that I'm from, meaning my mindset, that would never happen. That would never happen because as long as there are natural children involved, neither parent, neither parent can afford to roll money back. Money, all money go forward as inheritance. All money is poured into the children. There are so many ways to distribute inheritance to make both parents equally responsible for the kids and equally responsible based on the differences. Equally equal responsibility can weigh in differences. Differences can be weighed in. So equal yoking is not necessarily as black and white as we attempt to make it. Equal yoking can consider the natural differences. It can be calculated. So, some of the good things about equal yoking is that the way it's designed, you win together, you lose together. Just like the stock market. Everyone that invests in the marriage, the stock market has multiple marriages. You know what I'm saying? Multiple investors. And you win together, you lose together. That's how team work, partnership work. Whether it's a single partnership, more than one partners, two partners, you know. Now, the thing about being equally yoked, even if you consider or factor in the differences, the natural differences like gender, race, wealth, things of that nature, it still leaves room for anyone involved to escape, to renege, change their mind, turn around, do something different, no longer invest. And when that happens, it creates an imbalance on both ends. One person anticipate a separation. The other person awaits it. They're unaware of the expiration date, the exact expiration date. They're unaware. The other person took it upon themselves to exit. And the person that's quote unquote left behind has to figure out the boundaries, the new boundaries, you know, have to stabilize because you're no longer yoked. You're individualized now. So you need time to reestablish yourself, recalculate where you are, you know, The other person already put that time in through their anticipation. When they decided to leave and not give you the details, they had an advantage over you. So now, people that are left behind, I was left behind this last time, and I had to figure out. And I was, the stay at home wife and mom type. So I had a whole lot to figure out. you know, I had a lot talking about, you know, wow. So, so when people withdraw, they tend to give themselves the upper hand. They give themselves the upper hand. It's a type of theft to me. If you fail to communicate to the other partner what's going on, then you're stealing their opportunity to negotiate, to protect themselves, to defend themselves. You're just running off with the upper hand in your own plan, leaving the other person blindsided, without details, without enough information, you know, disabled in a lot of ways. That's the immediate impact. Now, it could be the best thing. Separating can be the best thing. It can. That's why it's best to let people go and focus on rebuilding yourself as an individual versus being equally yoked. Because once you rebuild your side, then, if there's going to be another yoking on your journey, then you'll be ready to, reconnect with a new partner, you know, and continue. Some people continue to build on their own, and that's where I'm at in life. I'm choosing to build on my own. The energy that I would give to a whole new partner, that yoking effect. I have blood children, I have blood grandchildren. I'd rather keep my lung, keep oxygen in my own lung, if you will, on my side of the lung, in my own chamber, you know. And one of the main reasons why I can speak this way is because um, outside of like physical, um, like sex, outside of physical sex, I mean, I have 7 grandsons that can feel, like I'm in my 50s and I only date and commit to people my age and older. And so, I'm 55. People my age and older are breaking down just like I'm breaking down. So instead of, me trying to connect to another broke down person, you know, I'd rather give run my last lap with 7 grandsons, 2 daughters, 7 grandsons, and 1 granddaughter. That's a lot of youthful energy, a lot of youthful energy. My daughters are in their 30s, and my oldest grandchild is 15, and I got 8 of them suckers. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Why tie myself to another old person like myself? That would be taking away from my family. making sure that they eat, their blood pressure is on point, making sure, all that. I can't afford to give that kind of time and energy away to another aging adult. I mean, I was all lined up and set up to do that. I was trained to do that and ready, but my husband left me. He left and gave the job to somebody else. So now I can continue focusing on me and mine, me and mine. And there's a lot of us. So what's left of me is going to yoke right on their way. I'm yoking their way, you know. I don't require sex anymore. I don't need sex anymore. When my husband left me, it was natural for me to like just be ready for the next husband. It was just natural. But I was like, whoa, 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 Lord, hold up, hold up, Lord, hold up. I didn't done this twice. I don't need all of that no more. I just don't. I Why? You know what I mean? I won't go younger. It's just not in me to go younger because I've been there, done that. I've already been 30. I've already been 40. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hook up with a man that that's there because I've been there. I was married for 32 years. I've been there already. I don't want to go back. I want to keep going forward. And to me, going forward, I was gifted. It was a gift. Really, it's a gift when your husband leave you. It's a gift in some situations. It's a gift, especially when you're old, because now I can focus on me, making sure my health is good, my laundry's done, my, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you know, is the way I want it. You know, and then I can treat my kids and grandkids the way I want without having to get permission or, whatever. I don't need anyone's permission to love my kids and grandkids the way I want. I just let it flow naturally, and I like this. And if I just want to, go shake my tail feather and get cute or whatever, I just go to the club. And whoever is there, whether men there, women there, I don't care. As long as I can dance, give me a cute little drink, and wear my little outfit and go home safe, I'm good. Back to my family. I think I'm going to love this life, guys. I mean, I know I'm being told on the internet that, it's a horrible, miserable life and I should just kill myself or something. But actually I go skating with my grandkids. They're keeping me young. I take them bowling, we go skating. I'm teaching them, they interested in girls, so we talk about it and I'm like, okay, y'all, where y'all want to go pick up y'all girls up this week? You know what I mean? I'm having fun. I'm letting them know which girls I think are the good ones and the ones I think are the bad ones. And I'll get their opinion. Oh, you think she's good because of why? Oh, okay, all right. You know, and I'll let them know how it was in the old days. I don't tell them they wrong. I just let them know what it was like when I was their age. Not too much different, but you know what it was like. What I thought about boys and how I would want a boy to talk to me or not talk to me. Stuff like that. So, getting back to the pros and cons of equal yoking, I think the most obvious good thing about it is that You get to win and lose in life with someone. But there are some people who refuse to take a loss. They will not lose. And when you're yoked to a person who refuse to lose or refuse to look bad, refuse to suffer, refuse to endure bad times, resisting the consequences of their choices and things like that, and you're yoked to this type of person, now to them, you look like that to them. And you looking over at them and they look at you like that. So y'all looking at each other as resisting. Some people think they're yoked until they're, the weight is put on. You check each other out and you say, okay, yeah, all right. And then as soon as a little weight is put on your shoulders, around your neck, on your back, some people tap out, tap out, can't do it. They come from up underneath. And then if there's children involved, you know. But see, that's how America had things set up, where if a married couple, male and female, depending on one another, it's easy to disappoint. It's easy to fail. I think the best kind of yoking is when it's not just the woman, just the man. At least each person need their families to help keep them motivated, keep giving them water, handing them a towel. Each man, each woman in a marriage, in a relationship that are equally yoked, need their families. They need them. I know we live in a world that says once you're married, everybody else is driven away and it's all about that couple. But that leads to exhausted, it leads to exhaustion. When each partner have family support, I think, the more people, the more community hug and surround the couple, the better. Some people will have good intentions. Some people will not have good intentions. So that's just a part of, you know, enduring the yoke together. So in my marriages, I was blessed, both marriages, where the men had their families supporting them, and I had my family supporting me, whether good or bad, whether good or bad, it didn't matter. The support was there, you know what I mean? Whether good or bad. But that's another video dealing with the good and bad support from families on both sides. Just because bad stuff go down, don't mean you throw away the family. And I endured molestation and still see the value in having family support. I know that sounds crazy, but I raised my family. Let's say my family support was there, but it was more of a smokescreen. It was more of a smokescreen than actual true family support. So some people can build a family image from whatever they got to work with. Good morning. Well, you know, some paramount later. I don't even like these other something. I'm too hungry. Oh, you're hungry? Okay, cool. All right, so what do you want for breakfast? I don't know. You don't know? Okay, you need some time to think about it. You want cereal? You know how we have that peanut butter cereal? Or do you want graham crackers? Those graham crackers down there? And milk? Or do you want a grilled cheese sandwich? You have options. So think about it. You just woke up, you're still rubbing your eyes. So take your time and let me know what you want. And we'll get to working on it. All right, sweetie. So, but yeah, guys, yeah, my grandson just woke up. Time to start getting ready for school. But yeah, that equal yoking, you gotta have family support. You gotta have family support. And and some people do have the ability to, like build an image of their family that is not exactly, reflective what's truly there. You know, um, again, the good and bad, weighing out, discerning, dealing with managing the good and bad of having family support on both sides. You know, so that's another video. But yeah, I hope I explained this well enough. The major points is talking about, being equally yoked, what's good about it, what's bad about it. Um, again, what's good about it, you get to win, lose together. You're not alone, so to speak. And then one of the bad things about it is that the door is open for anyone to just exit when they want. You know what I mean? Which, benefits them, but the other person usually is not prepared for the separation and requires a lot more restoration and attention. Um, so the withdrawal can cause a delay. When one partner withdraw, it can cause a delay in the purpose of the union. All that has to be figured out. You're going from coupling to individual again. And depending on how yoked you were, how committed you were, how invested you were, you may have forgotten what it was like to be an individual. You may have forgotten. And you're going to have to remember and reclaim yourself, regain individual status, you know, just transition from once being coupled up, having all that support, to not having it anymore. And it can be devastating. It can be devastating. It can be devastating both ways. I've experienced it both ways, and it's devastating both ways. But right now, today, my current situation is I was the person that was left behind, having to scramble and figure out how to go on. So that created delays in my plans in life, the plans I had for my children, the plans I had for my grandchildren. It created delays. It's not stopping us. It's not going to stop us. It just delayed us. But we're starting to see some growth. I mean, like, as a family, we're able to look around one another and see the growth over the past like 5 years since the split, since, he left, ran off to commit to a whole new family. And people, everyone in my life anyway, everyone in my life cheered him on. Everyone in my life was happy for him and cheering him on. I didn't even know about it actually. For a long time, I didn't even know it was somebody out there that he was, pushing up on, behind my back and bringing her to the forefront. I didn't even know it was happening. And by the time I realized it was happening, I'm like, people that are in my bloodline, people that have been friends with me forever, cheering him on. All I could do was just like, just step back, let them have it. I mean, what else do you do? You step back, let them have it. But while they're having it, I'm rebuilding my relationship with my kids, rebuilding my relationship with my grandkids. And now, 5 years out, I'm looking out at my garden from my back porch, and I like what I see. I see me. And that's how it should always be. I want to always see me, whether I'm in a relationship or not. I am the common factor, whether I'm in a relationship or not. I will always be me. And I will always seek and look for me, whether I'm in or out of a relationship. Because people do have the right to withdraw at any time. And when they do, I still need to be there. And I'm so happy that Most High is showing me what He did, the things that He did to save me, so that I can be here today to share my story with you guys in my own unique way as I look out onto my life, my land, my garden, and see me, my trees. And I'm so thankful to be alive today, to have joy and love coming back to life within me. Because when you're dumped, basically abandoned, you feel down, you feel depressed, you feel unhappy. Like, how can you not? You know what I mean? And it is a process and a journey to get back to a place where you can smile again, you know? Want to love yourself, want to love other people, Take care of yourself, take care of other people, be there, be dependent on again, you know? And if that's what it takes for me to have my life back is to stay to myself, don't have sex with anybody, you know? Have friends. Have friends, go out, have a good time. But keep my body, my commitment to myself, and give all of whatever else I got to my family. And I definitely will never have no regrets about that, you know? I will not have any regrets about that. Thank you all for your support today. Click like, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell. And I have 6,000 videos. Please binge watch, share the videos, and you all have a blessed day. Bye.